Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Edoggz Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Crashbar. This figure is for ages 8 and up. It does come packaged in robot mode. As you can see on the front of the box, we already have him in his motorcycle mode, which we'll get to later in the video. On this side of the box, we have all these various characters that are within Legacy, plus we'll concentrate on these vehicles down below. On this side of the box, we have all of these weapons and accessories. We can also break down Crashbar into little parts if you need to. It takes 15 steps to get them into a motorcycle mode. Plus we have Evo Fusion, which is like a combined mode of whatever character you may see fit to put them on. On this side of the box, on the top, we have an up close of his face. On the bottom, we have a far away shot of Crashbar. And then on the top of the box, on top of the box, we have the QR code that lets you know his stats. And then on the bottom of the box, we have his barcodes and things. Allow me to read his bio. The Junkion known as Crashbar may not be as big as his fellow Junkion bites, but he can prove to be a big challenge to any Decepticon who comes across him. He's also particularly fast to a fault, considering he'll often crash into a lot of things in his path. Thankfully, being a Junkion, damage is temporary to him. Crashbar carries 2 gravity cannons, but also can use his exhaust pipes as clubs or rear wheel as a saw blade when he rather gets his hands dirty. So that is it for his bio. We're going to get this out of here, and we're going to go through his accessories. So what do you get? You get these 2 clubs here, which acts as exhaust pipes. And they go on his back. Turn him around. You got these 2 ports here and here, and you just have to find these ports. I mean these pegs. There's 3 pegs right there, and just find out which one is what. Put that there. And you pop that there. So you're gonna get this all straight and stuff. So that's one. Bring that down a little bit. Right, so the next is his saw blade. Now normally this goes on the back of the bike, but I want to just demonstrate this real quick. And how you get this out, you got to get a nail in here, and you get this little saw blade, and you can put it on his forearm here if you so choose, and it does spin really nice if your finger's not in the way. Right, you can put it on either arm, does not matter, but technically it goes on the back of his leg. So all you have to do is close this up, turn it around, and you're going to see these 2 little holes here. Now it does go in a certain way. One hole is bigger than the other type of deal. Pop that in. Pop that in. Put this back into his back of his leg. Back the leg. And there you go for that. Next are his gravity cannons. You get 2 of these gravity cannons, and they also double as a satchel type of deal when he's in this motorcycle mode. I'm not sure if he has the ability to control like the mass of objects, like make them too heavy so he can't move, or maybe he has the option to switch over to make them really light and make them like float away or something like that type of deal. That would be kind of cool. But you can plug them in his hands. like so, like that. Or if you so choose, you can plug them into the side of the arm. Just to have an option. Now, we do have some effects parts. We can throw in here, so we can put one in here. And we can put one in there. Right, so you can do this if you wanted to. Right, so we're going to take these off just for now. And we're going to give you a 360 look of the figure. Oh. So this is what it looks like from the front. I like the mustache or the goatee that he got there. You got this side right here. This side there. And this side there. Nice Autobot symbol. I like the chest because it still looks like a motorcycle engine right here. You got the abs, and on the side of the abs you still got the vents, the air vents for the engine as well down here. That's cool. The shades are nice, and the horns are nice. Oh. Right. Articulation. We can go about that far on the arm. It's going to stop at the shoulder. We have base bicep swivel there. The hands are 360 degrees because of the transformation. The waist is 360 degrees because of the transformation. Bring up the leg like so. We bring it down. Not really 90 degrees because of the wheel, but if you move the wheel out of the way, you can get it 90 degrees and just move the wheel back up if you wanted to. Get the leg all the way out there, which is really nice. There's a swivel at the knee. The feet do have a rocker on it. You can go in and out like that if you want to. Leg going backwards about that high. If you want to bend, you can bend about that high right there on the lower leg, but if you want to, you can bring that out and bring this all the way out and kind of get it up there if you want to. Same thing, high kick right there. The head is on a board joint and it's very tight, and it's so tight that you can't actually pull it out like you normally would on any other figure. So now what we're going to do is the transformation. It takes 15 steps. Right, so what we need to do is get these off. We're going to bring these in because we need those, and we're going to bring this in, just in case. And it's very simple, very easy. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the arms first. We're going to bring this back. And we're going to put the hand over these spikes on the shoulders. Right? Like that. It's not a solid connection, but that's what they want you to do. Right? And it's on a butterfly joint type of deal. So you just bring this out and around. Bring this out and around like that. And you're going to have these two slots right here, right on top of the hole, and they plug into there. Next, you want to push down the head, and it's going to fall into this cavity there. Now, you do have the option of pulling the head off and having that empty. It's your choice. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn this way like that, and we're going to focus on the legs. So we're going to bring this wheel back like that. You're going to bring the foot down. Before we do that, we got to get these handlebars out of the way, right? And now we're gonna flip this down, move the wheel forward. You're gonna give it a turn this way and bring it up like that. Same thing on the side, do a little different. We're gonna make a turn here. This one is a little bit more easier. All we have to do is just fold this back. Make sure all of this fits in there. Right? Bring this up like that. Okay, so we're gonna turn it around like that. And we're going to move this piece underneath the gas tank of the motorcycle, and it is plugged in under there, so you just move this back like so. Now before I go any further, there are different slots here, right? And I do believe they're supposed to go into the two that are in like the center. All right, and you have these two pegs there. And I might not be able to catch it on camera, but you just take those two slots and you pop it in. There's two pegs and put it into the two slots, I should say. Plug those in. Make sure the other side is plugged in. And there you go. You can bring down the wheel, right? Right, go do that there. Bring out the handlebars, and we'll get back to that later. Same thing on this side, right? We want to bring up the back of the leg, bring this back, move forward, bring it down. Right, so you got this opening here, and that is where these guys come in. So we need this one right here. You plug it in, that one and that one right there. Oh, sorry, got the wrong one. You got to make sure you got the right one before you do anything. All right, so it's going to go like this. All right, so this piece has to move, be pointing forward. So you plug this in here, adjust for the wheel in the back, plug that in. Right. Same thing, opposite side. Plug that in, plug that in. Move that up just a little bit. You take the exhaust pipes and you plug them into the hand. And there's a slot over here where the kickstand or the starter should be. And you plug this in here like so. Right, so we got one done. Plug this in. And you got the other one done. And now you have him in his motorcycle mode, right? And all it takes is just a little adjustment to get it to stand by itself. You can do it. You can do it. Right? So we're just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to fight it. Right? So you can leave it like that. Just what it looks like from the side. From this side. That side. Right? From the top, from the bottom, which you have visible head syndrome there. Since we're here, we can plug these in. Right. Right. So you can have something like that. Right. Now we're going to do some comparisons. Right, so we're going to bring in RC. Kind of have that look going for it. We can bring in Cup. We also have blur. And last but not least, Rodimus, because of the color palette. Let's do one more since he's here. And we have Scraphook. Okay. Now we're going to go back into the robot mode, and we're going to do 3 builds that are in the I want to say that's been floating around on the internet, you could say. So we're just going to go back. Right, so we're going to take this off, take this off. We're going to take these off. Right, so I'm just going to do this real quick. So I'll bring this back. Oops, I'm going to save that for later. So I'll save that for later. Stop. Plugged in. Move this back. Unplug, extend, plug in. Let's move this back, bring this back here, get past this. Fix the handlebars, bring the wheel back. Turn the wheel here, turn the wheel there, carousel, we're going to unfold the arms. Get in here, bring out the head, clip it into place. We bring in the Edoggz pipes. Excuse the fire truck that's outside. And there you go. Got his basic stuff on him, right? Now we're going to bring in Scraphook because we're going to be doing some building at this point, and we need him in the vehicle mode, to be honest with you. Now if you come across in the instruction booklet, they show you that you can build this thing. Let me see if I can get it in focus. You can build this. Now I've tried this, and it really doesn't work. So you have to modify it just a little bit. So we're going to do that version of it. We're going to be doing, let me see, hold on, give me 1 second. We're going to do this version of it. Let me get it in focus. This version of the vehicle. We're going to do that version of it. And then I have made up something that should work for me. So we're going to do the modified version of what you saw in the instruction booklet. So what we can do here, we can start with the 2 motorcycles in the front. Let's do that. Right, so you just unplug this, right? We have this part right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to mistransform it just a little bit. Right, bring this out. Close one of these up, and that's good. We're going to take one over here, and they do peg together. You just got to find the slots. The slot is on this side, the peg is on that side. You can plug these things together. Right, so we need to mistransform this. Right, bring this down, close this, and excuse me, close that, bring that one open, excuse me. Peg those together, and peg that together. Right, and you plug them into these two holes here. Right, move that to the side, bring that down, and you could stop right here. You know, you can stop right here. This is one version of it. If you want, right, it does roll and everything, but you can build on top of this. Right, so the second one, let's see if we can find it. Second one is a mismatch, right? So you want you to take 1/2 of this, right? We're going to unplug this for a quick second. Unplug that. All right, so you're going to do this, the 1/2 of this, and 1/2 of that. All right, gotta close this. It's not gonna work. Right, and they want you to do something like that. So one side is gonna have the motorcycle on it. The other side is gonna have that on it. You know. Right, so you could do that. Right, so we're going to go back one step real quick. We're going to plug this back in, and this is going to be like my take on how to do the vehicles and stuff. Plug this back together. Right, so we got that. We take these two things right here and we can place them on the side. Hold on, we need parts. That's what we need. We need parts. So we can take this part right here. Right, you can put that there if you want to. You can have this facing forward. You can have it facing backwards. Right, so we're gonna pop that there, like that. Get another one. Oh, wrong place, right? Yeah, just put it there. We can put it there. Pop that there. And now we can take this piece right here, and there's a port there, and you can plug it right there if you want to. If you have enough space for it. Right, have that there. I'm going to need another one. Where is it? All right, we have this here. Sorry. And you kind of have that kind of thing going on. You can make adjustments to this if you so choose. Right. You can move this to the front, actually. You put it there if you want to. Now, the backhand side, we can take this apart. Take this apart to here and here. We'll come back to that. And take this hook off. We're going to split the arms on Scraphook. We're going to wiggle this out. Do this and do this. Right? Turn here at the elbow. Turn at the elbow. We're going to turn this up. And we're going to turn this up. Right? And we're going to leave that right here. Now this is going to be my build with the help of another reviewer. He kind of gave me an idea on how to like get this to actually work the right way. Right, so we're going to have it just like that, just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece right here, right, and we're going to push the head in, right. We're going to get some arms. We're going to put some arms on him. You can't work without it. But then again, we're going to try something in this video. Right, so we can have this like that. Excuse me. I'm gonna fold this up. Fold this up. Bring this back. Pop this in. Pop that in. Right. Then we're going to take those two exhaust pipes. And we're going to plug it into these ports right here. So it's going one there. One's there. Right. And we're going to plug those two into the hands back there. Right. So now you have this, and you have that hole. So you're going to push that in here. Right. Takes a little bit of doing, but it will fit in there. Right, so you can have that going on. Right, let's see if we can get this to go. That's to go. Make sure all that. Right, bring this down. Right, and you can have that right there. You can put the wheel on that side if you wanted to. Again, you could bring it in these side pieces. Right, so we're going to do side pieces one more time. Right. And we're going to bring in these effects parts, put them down here. So you kind of have that kind of going on. You know, you can open these handlebars if you want. Right, you do that. Right, so we can, let me see, you can put them next to Rodimus. kind of give you that option there. Now, another option, you can take those arms off and just fold these gray pieces down. You won't have to deal with pushing those arms in there like I did. But this is probably the one I'm going to stick with. Less is more. That's what I say. So we're going to go back real quick. We'll take all of this stuff off. As long as you have enough ports on the figure, you can build whatever you want. Alright. So we're going to go back to the motorcycle mode. Alright, so we need this piece right here. Bring it like here. The other leg. Turn, bring up, turn, bring up, turn this way. Collapse. Bring out the handlebars. Take care of the other leg. Bring that back. Let's get these on here. Let's see. Plug this in. That in here, raise this up. You can put these back in here, so wish. And now that we have them here, we can use one of the parts that are off a Scraphook. You can use this side right here. You can plug it on this side. Right, but before I do that, I forgot to put these back on. Now we're going to plug this back. And you can have like a little sidecar. You can do that. We're going to fix Scraphook right here real quick. Turn, hold, turn here, and then we fold. Oh, that's gonna happen. So we gotta bring this out, peg these together. We gotta find the hook. We take this off. here. Plug these back together. Plug it back into the front. Make sure all of this is clipped in together. Take the wheel, pop it back here. And that's one down. Let's see where are the other parts for him. Okay, so we got to put these back on. These Edoggz pipes. Right, so we're gonna bring in another one, fix his leg. Bring that up. Bring this up. Let's put some guns in his hands. I should say cannons. Get it in here. And there's the second one. And we can have different effects parts on this one if you so wish. If I stop dropping them. So remove that there, remove that there. And there you go. Let's bring in the box. There we go. And that is it for this video of the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Crashbar. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And again, if your figures have enough ports and enough space, you can create anything you want with these Junkions. Now, I do believe there's going to be 2 more Junkions, depending on the picture, that are going to come out, and then we're going to figure out something new to do with that. So I want to thank you for you clicking on this video, and I'm going to see you in the next one.